Hey there, welcome. So, in this workshop, we are going to go over how artists and idealists can increase their luck. What? Yeah, it's not just something that you're born with or something that finds you and hits you on the head, although definitely some people appear to be luckier than others. But there actually is a way that you can increase your luck and your opportunities and your impact just by doing a couple of simple things every week. And I'm talking about little things that maybe add up to about an hour, maybe 2 hours. It depends how much time you want to spend on it. So that's what we're going to get into today. And if you're an artist, great. If you're not an artist, that's also great because it's basically the same for everybody. It's all about creating more opportunities for yourself by doing some specific things. So I'm going to just share my screen. Just give me a second. It says I'm screen sharing. Okay. So here we go. All right. So increase your reach, create your luck and opportunities. So this is all part of my Artists and Idealists Growth Garden and Growth Studio. And inside, you're going to find all kinds of little mini courses and resources, and also live and recorded trainings. And it's basically you have access to me for a month where you have all of the library, and then we have our live calls, and then I do the office hours every week. But we also have a Facebook community. So you basically can poke me every single day and have me answer your specific questions and not sit around feeling like a number or, talking to a recording that doesn't answer you back. So I highly recommend that you have a look around. And if you have any questions about the membership, just let me know. And if you're not in the membership yet, what are you waiting for? It's such a good deal, I tell you. I'm not biased at all. But anyway, so on to today's topic. So, and let me move my big fat head somewhere where it won't be in the way. All right. So, luck is a myth. It's not just about chance, it's about action. So, basically, I believe that anyone can create their own luck with just 1 hour a week. It's basically the result of consistent and strategic action. And one of my favorite quotes, especially when I lived in Malawi, which was for 5 years, 2019 to 2024, is this one because nowhere else on the planet did I feel like this was more true than in Malawi. So if opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. Milton Berle was a comedian, actually. But I really felt this in Malawi, especially working with artists and small business owners. And a lot of people, they just, the economy was horrible. And a lot of people just had to create their own business or opportunities for themselves because there was nobody coming to rescue you in Malawi. It wasn't like there were scholarships falling out of the sky and grants and safety nets. It was like every man and woman for themselves. And it was a wonderful country and I loved it. And I learned so much as an educator and as a career person there because the systems like the traditional university system and work systems that have been used to in North America and Europe did not exist there. So this was one of the quotes that I gave to my students in Malawi, and they really seized upon this as well. So sometimes you can't just basically, what I'm saying is you can't just sit around waiting for luck and opportunities to find you. You have to create them. Okay? So before I kind of get into some of these things, I just wanted to say that this is one of my favorite graphics that I was using in Myanmar with my students in Myanmar when I was there for 3 years. Um, Basically, it's scary how old I am at this point. I've been teaching university students since 2000, and I've seen loads of students, of all different levels, all different backgrounds, rich, poor, refugees, ambassadors, people, in their 50s and 60s, people just out of high school. Um, and all over the world. And one thing that I've noticed, usually within a few, maybe 2, 3 weeks, I can really tell right away which students are going to do well in life. Isn't that nuts? And it has nothing to do with their talent. They could be the, most talented person in the room. They could make the best drawings or films or whatever. It has nothing to do with that. It actually has more to do with these things. So if you don't have talent, you're in luck because you don't necessarily need a lot of talent to be successful. So these things are being on time. Um, that sounds so cliche, right? But I've had students that were really talented in film, for example, when I was teaching at the American University of Rome in the film program, and they could be the best filmmakers, but they were handing in work late, or they were coming in late all the time, or leaving early, or whatever. And then people would come to me and ask me, could I recommend any students for jobs? And I would first think of those people, but I couldn't recommend those people for jobs with a full, heart, because I couldn't guarantee that they were going to show up and be on time. But maybe somebody a little bit with less natural talent that had a good work ethic and was positive and was dependable, I would recommend those people all the time. And those are the ones that do so much better, because you can practice and get better and get better at your craft and surpass those people with the bigger talent at the beginning. But anyway, so being on time, work ethic, your effort, your body language. I've had a lot of students that just kind of, you know, sit in the back with their hoodie over their head, with their arms crossed. But having the right energy, attitude, loving what you do, not being afraid to be like, oh, I'm so sorry I was late. I had this problem and it'll never happen again. And then it actually never happens again. What? That's amazing. Those are the people you can count on. People that are kind of like self-starters, they're not afraid to try different things. They're coachable, they do extra, and they're prepared. So what? Yeah, I know it sounds so cliche, right? But I'm telling you, this is such a big deal. Now I'm gonna show you a couple of case studies. So I'm gonna I'll go to Shanaz first, since this just happened. So this is a post from, I think it was today or yesterday, from the BAFTA, the British I forget the what the acronym is, but it's the big British awards. Basically, it's like the British Oscars. So this is a former student of mine, Shanaz. She originally comes from Iraq, and she was studying at the American University of Rome quite a few, probably over 10 years ago now. And she's featured on their website today. And I remember her as a student. And you know what I remember about her? She had a good attitude. She always was working on her stuff. She was excited about her projects. She was helping her classmates. She turned in her work on time. Back then, before she had this fancy BAFTA nod, she just was a good student, and she challenged herself, and she wasn't afraid to fail. I remember she was learning game design from me, and some of the things that she did were like kind of way out of her comfort zone. So anyway, so that's one example. So I'm telling you, it's all walks of life, though. It's not just Shanaz studying in Rome at the American University of Rome. I want to also talk a little bit about Mark, who actually was not my student, but someone, an artist in Malawi from a very humble background, no opportunity really to go to higher education, university, and he's doing amazing things. So he has these qualities in Shanaz and other students that I, can tell you about. So I know that these guys, it's not that they're lucky, it's just that they have the right sort of chemistry going for them to, do good things in life. So luck is a skill that you can build. And just to show you a couple of pictures here. So Mark is from Balaka area in Malawi. And Malawi, as you probably know, is one of the poorest countries on the planet. He and art is not taught in the schools there. So any artists that I met there were like really rebels, because it's not seen as like a way to feed your family and make a living. But he was so talented at it, and he was studying in Balaka, and was asking me a lot of questions. So we met. You can see we met about a year ago, actually, and he brought some of his paintings, and I was giving him some tips of things he could do. And he basically, without having any more access to me really, other than emails and chat, he went off and he worked on his portfolio. He started trying different things, painting signs, doing portraits. He now has his own little business. I believe it's in Blantyre, which is one of the bigger cities in Malawi. And through word of mouth, now he's getting lots of customers, and all of this without, art school, university, and expensive schooling. Just really someone who loves what he does, loves doing different kinds of art for people, and he's not afraid to try, sign painting, lettering, portraits. He does clothing. So he's kind of building a name for himself. And he has those qualities that I was telling you about. So I know if you check back on him in like 2 years, 5 years, who knows, maybe he'll be featured by the BAFTA or something equally as impressive in the years ahead. So anyway, that's what I wanted to say, is that, yeah, you just need the right qualities. And luck, as you may have known or not known, is it's a numbers game as well. So I know there's a joke, I think it's a religious joke actually, about, and highly paraphrasing, I'm just trying to remember. It was something about a man, and he was asking for help from, his God, and basically really needed money to pay the bills and everything. And so he was told, yes, I will help you. So he was waiting and waiting and waiting. And then finally he's like, nobody's come to help me. I'm not winning the lottery. I'm not doing anything. And then he hears a voice, John, you need to play the lottery. So he was just kind of sitting around waiting for somebody to help him, but he needed to actually, if he wanted to win the lottery, play the lottery. And so that's the same thing with luck and opportunities. If you want to win grants, if you want to get in art shows, and again, I'm giving a lot of artsy examples, but this could be for anything, funding, if you want to get a new job, you just want recognition, or you want to be published, or whatever your pet project is, and you want to be seen and heard, you have to get yourself out there. You have to apply to things. You have to look for opportunities. So it's all about numbers. So I'll just give you a really quick rundown. You may know that before I went back to fine art, I was an animator and doing mostly like digital media at the university. I'm at the American University of Rome again now, but I'm also self-employed, so I'm just there a little bit now. But back in the day, I was an animator, and I've been in over 75 international film festivals. Do you think I only applied to 75 international film festivals? Here's a little question for you. No. Back in the day, when I was in graduate school, I had my thesis, which was an animation, and I had met my first filmmakers, but I wasn't coming from a film background. And they told me, you've got to apply to all of these film festivals. And for every 10 that you apply to, you might get into one. So it was became like, oh, okay, if I want to be successful, then I need to apply to 10 film festivals and maybe I'll get in one. So that's exactly what happens. And what's interesting, when you get something, you don't have to put on your CV all the things that rejected you, do you? People only see the successes. It's like success, there's so much beneath the surface. There's so much failure and rejection for every successful person and everybody who's made their dreams come true. It's not just like, whoop, So if you have a thin skin and you really don't like being told no, I highly encourage you to try just to try to apply to things and not worry so much and don't take it so personally. The other thing I just want to mention is that when I was applying to film festivals, it was kind of like the advice that they give people for applying to university. You apply to university and maybe you have like a dream school that you want to get into, and then there's a couple of schools you think you might get into if you apply, and then there's the safety schools, like, there's no way they're going to reject me kind of mentality, right? It's the same thing for opportunities. So in this case, for international film festivals, by the way, this is my IMDb page, which actually need to update. It's really old, but I have an IMDb page because I was in film festivals that were Oscar qualifying. So that you're only allowed to get the page if you meet certain criteria. So it's funny because I wouldn't meet that criteria now based on what I'm doing, but I guess 10 years ago I did. So if you want to see me seem like a film hotshot, you can visit. But anyway, I had applied to big film festivals, and then ones that seemed more like a lemonade stand in like the middle of nowhere, Kansas, for example, whatever. And what's interesting is that you never know who's going to love or hate your work. You don't know who's on the jury. You don't know if they got in a fight with their wife that day, or if they're hungry and they missed lunch, or if they're having the best day ever. Because I got into some really fancy film festivals and rejected by the so-called safety film festivals, the lemonade stands, the ones that should have accepted me but did not. So that's the other thing I want to mention, is that you do not know who is going to love and connect with whatever it is that you do. So that said, my tips are apply for lots of things and apply for different kinds of things, and don't be intimidated by fancy things, but also don't be surprised if the things that you think you're a little bit above, they may reject you because you don't know. Okay, so anyway, that is the spiel on that. So definitely play the numbers game. All right, let's continue. So, oops, and I'm just trying to get back to the main thing. All right, so how do we unlock luck? So I'm going to move my big head again. Humble brag alert. One tip that I would give you, that I also took my own advice, is who's going to connect with your stuff. I make a certain kind of artwork that appeals to energy healers and Reiki people and people who meditate and whatever, like world travelers. It has like a very almost like spiritual quality to it. So guess what? One day I took my own advice. I spent an hour looking for opportunities, and I came across something called the Spiritual Art Awards. And I was like, what? So I did some research on it. It looked very nice. And I just decided to apply. And I was one of their like grand prize winners. And they gave me this beautiful, I should have brought it. It's in the other room. I'm in my son's room today because of background noise. But anyway, this is in my office. And they gave me this beautiful glass trophy. So I'm not saying you need a trophy. I'm really not into trophies. And this one is heavy, heavy. But I like it and it's pretty. So there. I'm allowed to have my pretty trophy, I guess. Anyway, what are you going to apply for? What are you going to look for? So I recommend whatever, again, I'm trying to make this kind of general, but if you are an artist and you do landscapes or you're abstract or you do portraits or you do animals, then look for shows and grants and things that are looking for that kind of artwork. If you're looking for a new job and you just happen to have this really specialized training or experience that not many people have, like maybe I don't know, like maybe you have like first aid training and CPR and whatever, look for things that you can kind of shine in your, areas of strength. Even for me, when I applied to graduate school years ago, I had a painting degree and I was applying at Pratt Institute in Brooklyn, New York to do computer graphics and interactive media. I know they've changed the name of that major now for their MFA, but I didn't have a lot of computer experience. I was coming from a painting background and I could have been intimidated and not applied. And I was intimidated, but I decided to showcase my background as a strength rather than a weakness. So when I applied, I was showing like, look how good I am at color and brush strokes and texture. And wouldn't it be great to incorporate that into computer art and, animation? And so that was my angle. And I was accepted, and I was, by the way, rejected by two other. I applied to, it's so funny because before then I had never been rejected to a university program. I guess applying for your master's is different than undergraduate. Lesson learned. But two other ones in New York City I applied to, and they were like, eh. Thankfully, Pratt was my first choice, so I got into my dream school and rejected from the two, safety schools. So there you go. I am walking the talk, talking the walk, whatever. Anyway, so you want to I recommend you take an hour a week or a half an hour or 10 minutes a day, however you like to schedule these things, and have a look at different places that you can look for opportunities. You can also ask ChatGPT, which is, I think I have open in a tab here. I have my GPT open. I can say, hey, ChatGPT, what opportunities for spiritual art can I apply for now in December, sorry for my typing, 2024? So what's it going to tell me? It's going to do like this whole internet search. So basically, ChatGPT has surpassed Google as like the like kind of like a search engine, and YouTube is number 3. So look, it's giving me all kinds of opportunities. I know there are links here. I'm not going to dig too deeply into this. I just want to show you how quick and easy that is. Ooh, this is amazing. Well, I'm gonna have to look at this afterwards and do my own, research after this talk. So there's Spiritual Art Awards. That's the one that I did. Sacred Art Prize. Wow. Artist Residency for Yoga and Health. Wow. Anyway, so you see how quick that was. Now I have the paid Chat GPT, but there is a free version as well. And you saw it took 2 seconds. You could also do Google searches and anything like that. Okay, so that's what you do. And I believe this slide was exactly what I just showed you, which is you go into ChatGPT and you ask for help. I did want to show you this though. I'll go back to ChatGPT. If you go in ChatGPT and you click on this over here in the left-hand panel, I don't know if you get this with the free version, so I just want you to know this exists. But if you explore GPTs, and you say art grants, or again, I'm giving a lot of artist examples, but this could be, humanitarian opportunities or people who want to get their master's degree or whatever. And you'll see that public art grants, there's all these like little GPTs. So basically, you can chat with specific GPTs that are programmed to help you find opportunities. How cool is that? I mean, this didn't exist even like a year and a half ago. So it's nice to get help. You could hire a coach or something, but probably less expensive to use Chat GPT, especially the free version, right? So anyway, I wanted you to know about that. But, very important, beware of scams. So I don't mean to pick on any particular organization, but sometimes as an artist in my email, I get emails from these organizations and they want to have me enter their competition. And usually inside, they are asking whoever is accepted to pay exorbitant fees. So what I would recommend is whatever you're applying for, do your research first, especially if you're an artist, but whatever it is. What I do is again, I don't mean to pick on It's Liquid Group. They have some interesting things, but I typed them in recently just because I got one of those emails and there was something kind of interesting. And I like this result because it's a bit mixed. So type in the name of whatever it is that you've applied for, type in the word scam after it, and see what comes up in Google. So the first result is I researched a little bit about this company, It's Liquid, and what I found was that they seem to try to extort money by charging for some kind ... And you can obviously go in there. Trustpilot has showing that It's Liquid Group has a 4.4 star rating. So then you could be like, okay, maybe they are legitimate. But then the next one is a classic vanity gallery scam for foreign artists. The gallerist trusts that the artist will not visit the gallery again after the opening. Just again, like with this particular organization, they do have exhibitions all over the world, but they do charge artists to exhibit. I did some more research. The artists who did exhibit do have exhibits, so it's not like they're scamming artists in that way. It's just that the fees are quite high. And in general, I recommend for artists that if the show wants to charge more than like $30, $40 to apply or, whatever, then likely it might be one of these pay to play operations. And you might want to just look elsewhere. You don't have to apply to everything. Or, if you get into something, you don't have to say yes. So that's my advice for you on that. Okay? Oops. Okay. Hang on. So anyway, just make sure it's not a scam. So I was telling you about power hours. So you're going to carve out 1 hour a week just for you to dedicate to yourself, to searching for opportunities. And what I usually do, I don't usually look for opportunities and then apply the same day. That's just way too hard for me. So usually I'll just take like, and it's rarely for me even an hour, maybe just a half an hour. I'll put it in my schedule for the day. I'll set aside some time. I'll look. I find interesting things. I write them down and actually put them in a Microsoft Excel sheet. And then I come back to that sheet later in the week where I've dedicated another maybe half hour or an hour, and then I actually apply to things. So I recommend you do the same. And this is how it works. So allocate 1 hour weekly to search for and evaluate opportunities. Use another hour for creating and submitting applications. If you commit to this small habit, you'll be applying to, say, 4 to 16 opportunities a month, and that compounds your chances of success. Whereas before I was doing this, I might apply to like one thing every 2 months, but just by increasing the number of things that I apply to, I get way more things now. So this can happen to you as well. And again, if you never know failure, you will never know success. So I'm sorry to break it to you, but not everybody is going to choose you when you apply to these things. So I recommend think of it as like lottery tickets or like a numbers game. You don't, I hope you don't expect that every time you buy a lottery ticket that they're all going to be winners. You're just hoping that one might be a winner, right? So that's just something to keep in mind, okay, for the future. Um, oh, okay. So here is the sample Excel sheet. I'll just kind of pop in here so you can see and move my big head, my big fat head somewhere. All right. So opportunity. Okay. I originally got this from an artist named Alicia Puig, and I'm probably pronouncing her name wrong, but she has all kinds of artist resources. And so this was one that I was using. But it's actually anybody can set this up. It's not anything really special. It's just an Excel sheet with the opportunity. So there's like different shows in here, the organization, the website, which I find is actually the most important column because that's where all the information lives, the kind of opportunity. So I have like show, online show, licensing agency, directory, feature, award and show, blah, blah, blah. Could be like a grant, could be a job, whatever it is. This is to help you keep track. And then for artists, it's asking for like what images you need, and then deadlines. Are there any fees? And then did you submit? And you might just use that to put the opportunities that you find, and then later you can fill out that other column. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you to kind of show you how it works. Okay, so then the other thing I wanted to share with you. So it's great if you are applying for things, but sometimes luck comes in other forms. Not that you're going and searching for things. Rather, people come to you, and if they come to you, are you ready for them? So that's the other thing that I want to mention. So polished materials make the difference. CV, tailor it to the opportunity. Basically, sometimes someone will tell you, hey, I know this job is opening up at my work. I think you would be perfect for it. You should definitely apply. It closes tonight. Oh, okay. If you're prepared, then that means you already have your CV and your resume ready to go. You might tweak it a little bit for that particular opportunity, but the more prepared you are with stuff, just in case, the better for when those things actually happen. And let me tell you, something like that just happened to me this week. I'll share with you in a moment. But anyway, let me just run down the list of things you might want to think about. So your CV, your LinkedIn profile is a big one. And actually, when people search your name, I teach this in my personal branding course. Usually the first thing that comes up is your LinkedIn profile, especially if you don't yet have a website. So make sure that you've gone into your LinkedIn profile and you've optimized it and made it pretty for your butterflies that are coming to your garden. So make sure that it's got everything that it needs. If you have a website, and if you don't have a website, you should have a website. They're not that hard to make, I promise. You only need one page with the most important information on it, okay? Showcase your best work with an intuitive professional design. If you are an artist, you're going to need a bio, which is usually written in the third person. Kristen Polana is an award-winning blah, blah, blah. And then an artist statement. And that's for artists, again, that's what you do. Like I don't draw the world as it is. I draw the world that I want to see, and then blah 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 blah. And that's written in the first person. I'm going to give you some resources, artists, for that later in the resources area. So anyway, make sure that all your bios, CVs, LinkedIn's, whatever you got are up to date and ready to go. For artists, keep a portfolio folder with ready to go materials to save time. Just very quickly, I'm gonna show you. I have actually an artist's website. So I have a main website with all my stuff, and I have a shop for my art prints and art gifts. And then when I apply to opportunities, I send a simplified version of my website, which is kind of like in its own wing of my website. So nobody can find it unless I give them the link. And it's super simple. It's just, this is just a screenshot. This is just a landing page with the beginning of my artist statement. Then you can go to my artist statement, my artist resume, my portfolio, my blog, my contact, and my about. And actually, this is one of those pages, if you scroll down, it'll have my bio and ways to contact me. So everything there, super simple. You could have a website that's even more easy and simple than this. It just has to be one page. And as long as it has your contact information about you, who you are, what you do, and why other people should care. And if you sell something, then a way for people to buy stuff from you is always a good thing. But this, I have less like that, more for applying for grants and stuff. So when you click on my portfolio, which again, this is just a screenshot, it'll bring you to the artwork, but there won't be the prices and all that information there. It'll just be the information about the artwork because again, I don't want to, it's not when I'm applying for gallery shows and whatever, I don't want to distract the jurors with, oh, did she sell that? She sold it for how much? Like, no. Okay. So anyway, KISS, keep it simple, sweetheart, is a journalism chestnut, right? Anyway, so let me come out of here. The other thing I wanted to mention is other ways that you can create luck for yourself is through communities and collaboration. It's amazing how, when you're in a good community, one of your members may recommend you for something. It's, again, it's like actually my first teaching job full time at William Patterson University was from a friend of mine from Pratt University who was already teaching there, and a job came up that apparently I was perfect for and asked me to apply. So these things happen all the time. It's amazing. All right. So anyway, collaborations amplify your visibility and create unexpected opportunities. Some things that you could do are you could connect with people on LinkedIn. You could ask around in your Facebook groups, local meetups to connect with like-minded professionals. I'm just going to show you a couple of examples. So this is a gallery in the city I was born in, Fall River, Massachusetts, and it's called Narrow Center for the Arts. And they've actually become really popular, not just as a gallery and artists community and place for classes, but they have amazing concerts. I mean, like really amazing concerts. They have like thousands of people, which is amazing because if you're showing your work there, you have the regular gallery audience, but then you have concert goers coming for their concert and they have to walk through the gallery to get to their show. And that's awesome. Let me tell you. Anyway, so I recently had a 3-person show with 2 other Massachusetts artists, Bill Porter and Stacy Powinski. And we had a beautiful show, if I do say so myself, about healing art. And it was at that venue. So that was a small, so you can have a small collaboration or you can have a big collaboration. Another thing that just kind of happened is, let me see. Okay, I'm friends with Amy Diener, who is an American artist in Thailand. And I forgot how I met her. I think I met her in our art storefronts group. So like basically the web hosting community where I have my shop. She was in there and she wanted to collaborate on animations and stuff. So we became friends. And then she said, hey, I am part of this collective called Art of Vida, where your designs can go on their eco-friendly products and blah, blah, blah. You get royalties. Do you want to join? And so I said, do I? Yes, I do. And I joined. And these are 6 of the artists that are in that collective. So that was awesome. Again, an unexpected opportunity. One more from today. From today. Let me just go back here. Okay, so can you imagine? So I've just moved to Rome a few months ago, and I'm in a WhatsApp group, and the group has nothing to do with art or business or anything. It's about going on like walking tours of Rome. And one of the members wrote, "Hello, I'm looking for places to buy art, either painting or sculpture at a good price. Any recommendations?" And I actually saw it and I was like, "I'm an artist, but I'm not gonna tell you about me because that would be weird." And I didn't. But then people were responding to her like, "Oh, there's this gallery and that gallery." And I'm like, "But I'm an artist. I should tell her that I'm an artist. Maybe she might like my work. She might not like my work." So finally, hold on, about a day later, I did go in and I left her a message on WhatsApp. Here it is. "Hi, I just moved to Rome, so I'm not sure yet about galleries here, but I'm an artist and I have originals, art prints, and art gifts available, as well as custom commission options. My website is blah, blah, blah." And then it came up. "If you'd like to see if my style resonates with you. I also have friends, Roman curators who can give gallery recommendations. Feel free to DM me if you'd want me to connect you. Best wishes, Kristen." So basically, what I did is I reached out and I detached myself from the outcome. This is so important. Um, if you're going to be applying to all kinds of things and reaching out and being a little vulnerable and being a little salesy, you got to like just not worry. Like many people are not going to be interested and they're going to say no, but some people are going to say yes. And guess what? She, it turned out, loved my artwork. I was like, "Oh," and asked if she could come and do like a studio visit. She came today, this morning, and we ended up having like a 2 hour tea and conversation. And it turns out that she's an energy healer. She used to be like this big executive, doing all kinds of things with Lego in Denmark. And then kind of got interested in spirituality and healing. And she was drawn to my artwork. And she asked me about buying multiple originals. And so we're still, discussing, but she's moving from Rome and is asked to buy a handful of originals. So I gave her prices and I told her to talk with her husband because, making a big original purchase is no light thing. And she's going to give me her list. I'm going to see her tomorrow, actually, on the walk that we're doing in Rome. So there you go. Another example of community providing unexpected opportunities. So how can you do this in your life? What communities can you tap into, or do you need to join some? So just a little homework for you, something to think about, right? All right. Now, last thing, so we're getting there, right? To attract opportunities, it also helps that you have the right kind of mindset. So, as I said at the beginning, those people with the positive attitudes, they're not afraid to kind of like be self-motivated and try a whole bunch of things and to fail and fall flat on their face, but they're going to try again. And that also matters with this as well. So, I've been a big fan since the age of 20, and no, I'm not 20 anymore. Of something called creative visualization. Oh, wow. Sorry, I just noticed the world's biggest typo. Okay, don't look at the word visualization. Just visualize that I spelled it correctly. But there's a wonderful book called Creative Visualization by Shakti Gawain, and it changed my life. And this is like a little tiny book. It's like 100 pages maybe. I read it when I was 20. And back then, I thought that I had to be like everyone else and do what everyone else is doing, but I had dreams, and this book unlocked so many things that I wanted to do. I wanted to travel the world. Whoop, check. I wanted to have a family. I wanted to actually have films show on a big screen in a movie theater. Check. Go on safari. Basically do all kinds of crazy things. And so this book helped me to kind of articulate that. So highly recommend you check that out. I also recommend, there actually is a book called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, Joseph Murphy, I believe. Um, when you write a list of all the things that you want to happen, I do recommend you write it in the present tense as if it's already happening. Like I'm showing my work in a solo show in Boston, Massachusetts this summer, or whatever. Or I'm meeting my soulmate and we take long walks by the beach every day. It doesn't have to be job related or art related, right? It can be anything. But definitely write those things down. And when you do that, those things go into your subconscious mind. You can also do guided meditations and hypnoses. Is that the plural of hypnosis? There are a whole bunch of free ones on YouTube. I like the app called Aura, and I also love Mind Valley, which is also an app and a place where you can do all kinds of things. I have my sons doing these things. So they do like confidence hypnosis before they have a performance. Like one was doing like a singing performance, and the other one had a lead role in a play. And so these things help with every aspect of your life. So tap into the power of your subconscious mind. This is like sort of like our background programming. So you can tap into that with hypnosis, with creative visualization. You can read more about it. Highly recommend. The other thing that you can do to attract more opportunities to yourself is be grateful for all the good things that you already have. That's so powerful, you have no idea. So embrace gratitude, reflect on all the small wins that you've already had. So visualize your next big opportunity and identify one small step you can take today to make it happen. So this is moving forward. And I think I have another page here. Yes, I do. Yay, I remember. Okay. So this is me wrapping things up because actually I have another call after this, but so far so good with the timing. I was aiming for like 45 minutes, but under key points, I went over, I'm not going to repeat myself, but these are the things that I went over. Um, Embracing the idea of being resilient, networking, and having a positive mindset. My challenge for you is this week, maybe even today, maybe even tomorrow, commit 1 hour or 30 minutes or just some little block of time in your schedule to finding opportunities and another block somewhere else to apply to things. Small actions lead to big results over time. You have no idea. Your success will compound over time. So you're going to create more luck for yourself. You have everything you need to create luck and build your success. Start today and watch the opportunities unfold. The last thing that I want to show you, and I'll put this as a resource near this, course and video, is you can also create another Excel sheet. Let me just move my big head out of the way. This is something called a life design plan, and it looks really big and unruly. But basically, what you do is you take a big goal, like for example, I'll just go to like travel and adventure as like a big goal. I want to have more travel and adventure in my life. So the priority area is travel and adventure. It could be health, it could be love, it could be career, money. Okay, so that's the priority area. Your dream or goal is what is it that you want to do? My dream is visit new countries and go exploring. So, and then further broken down, specific activities you can commit to in each area. So for this area, plan trips every few months to a new country or destination in Myanmar. I made this in like 2018 when I was living in Myanmar. So this is an older one. How would you know if you're being successful? Well, did I take a trip or not for this particular category? How would I know if I'm being successful monthly? Do I have plans for at least one upcoming trip? And then finally, at the end of the year, what happened? Here I want to visit Japan, Mandalay, and Myanmar, other parts of Myanmar we haven't been to yet, and other countries close to Myanmar we haven't yet seen. Now, if I tried to do this trip, it's practically impossible because poor Myanmar, wonderful country, but they have a terrible government at the moment, which came into power after I left. So it's not safe to go there right now. But back then I lived there and I took advantage of all the things that were close by. Even though Japan is not that close by to Myanmar, it's certainly much closer than anywhere else I've ever lived on the planet. So I did end up going. And at the end of the year, I was able to say, yes, I did have more travel and adventure in my life. All right, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Screen sharing, stop sharing. Yes, that's what I wanted. All right. Anyway, I hope you have great luck, even though we know it's not luck, is it? So go make some luck. Go unlock luck. And I'll see you next time. Okay? Thank you. Take care. Ciao.